Hello and welcome. This is episode 1 of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. This is an old point-and-click adventure game from the 90s, which was it's been a kind of a favourite of mine for a long time, since I first played it. And something made me think of it the other day, and I thought it would be a good one to play through, so here goes. Now, if you've ever played this back in the day, you may not know that they released a director's cut in, I think, around 2010. So this is the director's cut. It's even the director's cut is quite old now, but it adds a few new scenes which weren't in the original, and another playable character which wasn't in the original. So the main character is Georg Stobbart. You play in the original. You only played as him, and then in the sequel they introduced a second playable character, which was Nicole Collard. So in this director's cut, you actually play as her and George, and it kind of alternates between the two. So there's some extra scenes with her which kind of flesh out the story a little bit, which I think is pretty cool. I like this version. I won't say too much more right now because I don't want to give away the plot or anything, but let's get started.
Paris, city of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat. My God! What? Monsieur Carchon! He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here. There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Okay. Move the mouse pointer around the screen to discover areas of interest, which will be indicated by an animating blue circle. When the pointer passes over an object with which you can interact, it will change to an animating icon reflecting the available action. Press the left mouse button to perform that action. Click on the briefcase icon to open your inventory and display the objects that you are carrying, diary icon to access the diary, question mark to get hints, and the spanner to save, restore, and adjust settings. These icons can be found in the lower section of the screen. Okay. So, yeah. Walking in on someone who's just been shot and seeing a mime standing there, it's weird how she kind of just walked up to the mime instead of running away or something. But at least we didn't get killed. So, let me just go into the settings. Okay, so, what have we got here?
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him. It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Carchon had been shot.
Yeah, well, we knew that much.
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I had closed his eyes. Rigor mortis hadn't set in yet.
Okay, so let's come out of there. Is there anything else to investigate here? I suppose the window really would be the...
A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France.
Yeah, the window would be the obvious thing to check, wouldn't it?
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Okay.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
I don't think there's anything particularly important to find in here.
Pierre Cauchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
So he has 2 statues of himself. Interesting.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Okay. So yeah, as I was saying before, if you've ever played the original Broken Sword, this, but not the director's cut, this might seem unfamiliar. So this whole section at the beginning was part of what was added for the director's cut. Normally you would start off as a different character, but we'll get to that shortly. Okay, so what else do I need to find?
The door was locked.
Ah, right, okay. So we need a key.
A Louis XIV table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful. Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Okay, so I don't think we've got anything that we can use on there yet. To use an inventory item on a background object, click on that item and hold the mouse button. While continuing to hold the mouse button, drag the item over a hotspot and release it when it highlights with a gold outline. Yeah, okay. Oh, we could maybe use that on there.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Okay. Well.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat.
Yes, okay. So I think that's all there is to find on there.
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Yeah, that probably seemed a bit insensitive.
Talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that.
I suppose we should try to comfort her a bit.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything?
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yes.
Yes! That's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if. My editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No. I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you, too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Okay.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Right then. Let's go take a look in there then. The key. There we go.
Now we were getting somewhere. I didn't need the lights on. It was light enough already.
Yeah, okay, I suppose that was a bit stupid.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on this sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression, though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
Okay. Let's look at this painting.
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks.
Ah.
Behind the picture was a safe.
Of course. Oh, and we've actually got the key for that, haven't we? Okay, let's may as well do that now.
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Cachon was past caring.
Not sure that really justifies stealing, but we need to get to the bottom of the murder, so needs must, I guess. Okay.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision. I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank.
Oh, of course, right.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant.
But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Cachon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
Okay, so we've got an elephant, and we've got some paint, so we can probably use that to make a...
I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
So, we can use that to make a copy of the thing. There we go.
I rolled the artifact in the paint until it was completely coated.
And then for some reason she put it in her pocket, covered in paint.
Genius! The roller and the paint worked just as I planned, but what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, "Sub judice." I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité by the river housed the ancient law courts. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Okay. I suppose there's no point going in here then.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
Did you find anything useful?
This carving. Do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask...
Don't worry. You were never here.
Sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
Okay.
Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
Well, that symbol looks similar to the thing on the print that we made.
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Canchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track. Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. It read, Sub judice. Below it was a sequence of letters, SDSS, DSS. The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
Okay. Let's see if we can get in here.
I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Okay. Ah, right. Okay. So, let's move this down. Across, up. Hang on. No, I'm just undoing everything, aren't I? Oh, we need to get that across there. Right, okay. So... there.
Yes! One down, one to go.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Can they move? Yes, they can. Okay. Hang on. Boxed myself in here. Oh, hang on. Okay, I need to get that. Need to get that out of the way of that. Or do I? What I want is to get this up there. That's not going to work, is it? Does that help? There, that's what I want. Right. And then I can bring that down. That across. Oh, no, that down, that across, that up, there. Then that can come back down. And across there.
Nothing
Perfect.
like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Oh. Probably could have just kicked it over.
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy, in more ways than one.
Okay, what have we got in here? A boat, or part of a boat.
Oops. An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there.
Okay.
The brass case was smooth and perfectly round. Moving a skiff would only damage it more.
Okay.
No handle, nothing obvious. But there had to be a way to open it. The words sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right, left, right. But what did it mean here?
Okay, so...
Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. It read, Sub Judice.
Yeah, okay. So S, D, S, S, D, S, S. So S.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Oh, okay, we need to put something in there first. Probably this.
Mystery solved. Carchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
Okay, so S.
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe.
D.
Another click. Another step closer.
S. S. D. S, and then S again.
I love the sound of locks clicking open.
Go on then. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death, submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternity. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew.
Surely they would notice that, but okay. Right, so the only thing in here really is this cross, so let's see what that does.
Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force. With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again.
Okay, so let's lift it up.
Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious.
So, maybe we can use the hair clip to keep that up.
This wouldn't hold the cross up. But I was on the right track. I needed to use something sturdier.
Okay, I guess the bullet case?
The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting somewhere.
Okay, and then we can see what this is.
I touched the slot. Nothing bad happened, which was good. I've always been attached to my fingers. This slot was designed for something specific. But what? A round slot.
Well, we used our only cylindrical object. That was the key for the safe, wasn't it? So it probably doesn't do anything here. Nope. And that was
It was the drawing room key.
Oh yeah, that's not going to do anything here either. The elephant won't fit. Maybe we can pick the lock. Nope. Okay.
No way would I be able to force the door open.
If it's a round hole, then the bullet casing would have been the ideal thing to use, wouldn't it? Okay, let's think.
I removed the shell case.
I wonder if there's anything else we can use instead of the shell case. We don't need that drawing room key anymore, so maybe I can just shove that in.
This wouldn't hold the cross up. But I was on the right track. I needed to use something sturdier.
Okay.
This wouldn't. I need...
Yeah, okay, so you have to use the bullet case. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's just take that back, because that's...
I removed the shell case.
That looks similar to the hole that was out here. I wonder if we can get the cylinder back.
I removed the stone cylinder.
There we go. Right, okay. Now it makes sense. Okay, and then we use the cylinder on here. Good job it still fits after we covered it in paint.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed. The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open.
Okay.
I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up.
Ah. Okay.
The gap was too narrow. I needed something flatter to work into it.
Now then. This isn't going to be strong enough.
I was going to need something a lot stronger than a hair clip to free the door.
Yeah, okay. Okay. See if I can get this back. Now then, I seem to remember. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling you did something like that. So we flatten the bullet case and then that'll wedge under the door.
The stone slab had flattened one end of the shell case. I needed a gap for leverage.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to have to do this again.
I removed the shell case.
Okay, now we can use that on here. Perfect.
Another good use for a shell case. Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for? Wow! Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon?
Okay. Is there a light? No, apparently not. I don't have anything that makes light, do I? No. Okay, let's just save. There's nothing to interact with. Am I being really stupid? What? Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Amazing! The thing still worked. The room lit up bright as day. It was an old circuit breaker, like something from a Frankenstein movie.
Right, okay.
That wasn't going to help. A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
Okay, well that looks like the cylinder would go in there again.
Lady Justice stared out from a stone door, which was locked and reinforced with steel bands.
Okay, before we do that, I don't have the cylinder on me, do I? No, it's still in the wall. Okay. Let's check these drawers first.
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
Okay. Oh, okay. These are cool puzzles. The note has been written using a substitution cipher. This means that a different symbol has been used to represent each letter of the alphabet. To crack the code, you must correctly match all the symbols to their corresponding letters, highlight a symbol, then highlight the corresponding letter. Okay. If you make a mistake, click on the go back button to step back, or you can reset the whole puzzle by clicking on the reset button. Right, okay. So, let's see. 2-letter words could be in. So I click I and then that symbol. And then N and that symbol. Okay. Now then. Oh, that's got to be A. Okay. I didn't realise there was a 1-letter word there. Oh, it could be I suppose. Something I... Yeah, no, I think it's more likely to be A. So that's probably and. Okay. So that means that could be O on, or it could be in, on and of, in or it. go for O. Which means this would be on of or oh no wait oh if let's do that as F and then do that as I. Nah, something isn't right here. Oh, of course that's O, yeah. And then that would be T. That, well, yeah, I should have got that straight away, what an idiot. Okay, and then that must be AND. Oh wait, have we already used N? Okay, let's change that to I. And make that H, and then make that S. This is not a something. What if that was... where is that symbol? There. If that was... Oh, there's only one of those. Okay. Take. Now it's starting to make sense. Oh, but then that could be seeks. Oh, seems. Yeah, okay, so we want that to be M. That's got to be W. Yes, okay. Is not a... coincidence. Right, okay, so that's got to be C. Coincid, and that's got to be D. Where is it? Okay. That's got to be B, both dead. Yep. That means that's you. Okay, this is falling into place now. Okay. Great care. That's got to be G. Together, danger, great care. Yeah, okay. That it seems that of us. Indeed, it seems that all of us. All of... that means that's F. All of us who came together in something are in danger. Take great care. Right, Pierre. Right, okay, so that will be P. Full report to follow. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada, maybe? Both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July, that would make sense, are in danger. Take great care. And then we don't know what the initial is. Q, V, X, or Z. Well, if it's just an initial, that could be anything, couldn't it? these don't appear anywhere. Oh, it could just be a kiss at the end, I suppose.
I had decrypted the note. It read, Pierre, full report to follow. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X.
Okay, maybe not a kiss at the end, but yeah. Okay, so that's that. What else was on here?
It was pretty clear from the lack of dust that someone had been working very recently at this desk.
Well, they've been taking pictures of me.
Oh my God! The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything from my favorite food to my waist size. They were right about chocolate. Come on, guys, I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Carchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big and organized. I was part of it, and people were getting murdered. This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume, a penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders. Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I proved they were just the opposite. So, how did they fit in with Carchon? My articles about the costume killer.
Oh, right.
One thing was clear. Someone connected to Carchon had been watching me. The dregs at the bottom of the mug hadn't dried out or gone mouldy. It wasn't more than a day old.
Okay. I think we've seen everything we can on there. Let's go do the cylinder thing. Now, if I take this, is it going to make that door shut again? Because that might be a bit annoying. Yes, it does. Okay. Damn. I'm guessing that's too small for that.
A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it.
Oh, I didn't realise I could.
I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk. It hadn't been used for years.
Okay. So there's nothing... The only desk we can interact with is this one by the looks of it. Unless there's...
The flags had faded, but their message was still pretty clear.
Okay.
Fascist regalia. A message of hate.
Oh.
Damn, don't you just hate it when that happens? A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket
to one explosive story. I had enough for a story, an amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Conchance to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Oh, okay, so we didn't need to do the thing with the cylinder. Maybe we go back there later.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends. Powerful friends. For your own sake.
Forget what happened.
You got it. End of conversation. Good night.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know. We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
People complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
Okay.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobbart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
Okay, well.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was going to do. I was going to find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty and equality and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and the money, of course.
Okay, let's save there. And I think we'll call that the end of episode 1. So this is where the original game started, with that cutscene, and then the cafe blows up, and then you take control of George. So all of the stuff we've done in this episode with Nico is stuff that was added for the director's cut, and there are a few more bits that have been added in with Nico as well. So I guess that was kind of like a sort of prelude type thing, and then in the next episode we'll start with George, where the game would normally have yeah, and then we'll start trying to track down the clown and figure out what the hell is going on. So, see you next time.